Hi everyone, this is Katie Carney and this is Flosstube number 14 for me. It is Sunday, February 16th and it is warm in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's around 40 degrees. Hang on one second. How's that? Is that better? Still a lot of Katie. Anyway, it's been about 2 weeks since I checked in with you all, and I hope that everything has been well and you had a nice 2 weeks and a wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you all know that you're my Valentines. I love that holiday. Any excuse to celebrate love, I'm 100% on board with. Whether I'm single or not, I used to celebrate Galentine's, I still do. And then when I was single, my big treat to myself was romantic comedies and Chinese food. So, yeah, I love Valentine's Day. Anyway, last time I checked in with you, I was about to leave for Washington State, and I have been and back. What a long flight. So I left Scranton on Sunday at 7 a.m., and I arrived in SeaTac, Seattle's airport, at 1-ish their time, so like 4 o'clock our time. But the problem was then I had to wait for my coworkers to arrive from Dayton, Ohio. And it took them, they were about a half hour behind me, and then they had to get their luggage because they had to check bags. So we got to the hotel, we went across the street, like we checked in, and this is a planning trip for our conference, so this is when they're trying to impress us. So, you get the really nice room, and there was a little bit of food in the fridge and some sparkling water, and then we went across the street to a restaurant. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and my coworker wanted to watch the Super Bowl. So we turned the Super Bowl, well, we didn't turn it on. The Super Bowl was on. Hang on, I'm getting a pop-up. It's driving me crazy. There we go. So the Super Bowl was on, and at the end of the halftime show, I said, guys, I can't do it. And I went back across the street to the hotel. I was in bed, I think it's 7 o'clock Seattle time, and I had big plans to get up early so that I wouldn't adjust. Yeah, I slept for 12 hours straight. Maybe not 12. 10. I fell asleep at 7 and I got up at 5:30. And then I laid in bed, and then I got up, I showered and all that stuff, and then I took a walk, and then we met the first people that we were meeting with at 8 o'clock for breakfast. I ate some great food. So I was in Bellevue, which is across the river from Seattle, and the restaurants people recommended were like Duke's Chowder House, a dumpling place, and all these places are supposed to be in Seattle. They're all small chains, so they're all in Bellevue, and you can just walk across a walkway from our hotel and you're there. There's a lot of money in Bellevue, Washington. So Tuesday we met with the people from the Hyatt Regency, which is where the conference is going to be, and then we met with local members about a bus trip that'll happen. I work for the American Wine Society. I don't know if you all know that. And we have a yearly conference, and it's in Washington this year. And it was a great trip, but it was really fast. We worked all day Monday, all day Tuesday, and then the car service picked me up at 3:30 in the morning on Wednesday. I got back to Scranton at 4:30 local time. Went to work for an hour and a half. I came home. I ate dinner. I was in bed at 8 o'clock. Travel days kill me. I have to go to sleep right away. I do. I came home. I might have taken a bath and then I went to sleep. I got very little stitching done. I started a project in the airport before I left Scranton. And then you're packed like sardines on these planes, like sardines. All my flights were completely booked solid. They were totally full. There was no room, so I just read. And then we were working 14 hours a day while I was there, so I either slept or worked. And then when I got home, Thursday, Mark and I went to Philadelphia for a concert. I can't remember what we saw, if I'm being completely honest. And then last weekend, I guess I got some stitching done. I had to clean, do laundry. When you have a lot of things, you have to dust a lot. And then last week finally kind of got back to normal. I stitched for a couple days. I cooked at home. So I felt a little more in control. And then for Valentine's Day, I got us a hotel in Philly, not just a Hill Garden. It's attached to the convention center. And my boyfriend worked a lot last week, so we went and saw the orchestra at 2 o'clock. It was the senior special. They do a couple shows a year on Fridays at 2, and it's us and literally senior homes bus the people that live there. It's great though. You guys, it was Valentine's Day Friday, so we're at the orchestra, and at the beginning of the show, they always do a thing where they like announce they have an orchestra member who reads a script about turning off your cell phone. So this trumpet player is the person doing it, and he goes, "Hello, my name is so-and-so, and normally at this point we tell you to silence and turn off your cell phones. But today I think you should turn it back on." And then he says, "Juliet from the First Violins, can you stand up?" He went over and he got down on one knee and he proposed. And I was like sobbing. I mean, we were up in our box and I am just weeping. And, oh, it was not good. I mean, it was wonderful. I'm so happy for them. And she was crying and everybody's clapping and I'm crying. And it was a whole big thing. It was very cute. It was a nice thing to see for Valentine's Day. And then the conductor's first name is Stefan and his last name starts with a D and it's French and I can't pronounce it. But he is a good friend of John Williams. And he's how I saw John Williams a couple years ago. And they did March of the Firebird. They did a selection from Harry Potter. And then they did a Ravel opera that I did not love. It was post-World War I, and it was meant to be a comedy, and it was like it was about a bad child and then the furniture that comes to life and like doesn't like her. It was okay. It was not my thing. And then we went to our hotel and checked in, and my boyfriend slept for 15 hours straight because apparently he hadn't slept all week. And then yesterday when he woke up, we went to a great brunch place and to the Philadelphia Auto Show, which is not normally my thing, but it made him happy and we had a good time. Anyway, that's a lot of catching up with you guys. I'm sorry. But it was a busy couple weeks. Oh, and then, so I have a cardiac MRI and an echo on Thursday this week, so I'm going to be in Morristown, and I'm pretty sure that my boyfriend is not coming with me, because it's just testing, so he doesn't need to. And there's a cross-stitch store, I think, around a half hour from where I'm going to be, and my last test is at 1, so I should be done by 2. And if it's only a half hour away, then I could be to the store by like 2:30, and then even if it closes at 4, I'll have time to shop. So maybe next week I'll have gone to my first cross-stitch shop, which makes me really nervous, but we'll see. And then I'm having Chick-fil-A for dinner in the Delaware Water Gap rest area. There's one, and that's how I'm rewarding myself for getting my cardiac MRI. Anyway, that's my goal. All right, on to cross stitch. I have 2 FFOs today. First, I have, ta-da! I could not figure out how to finish this. This is my Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts Winter Sampler. So finally, after fighting with the iron, I starched it. I cut the sides because they were this surged, whatever that's called. But I figured I didn't like the look of that on this, and I had to trim over here anyway. So I trimmed it, and then I found this dowel that normally I put in the window when I put my air conditioner up, so this probably can't stay forever. But I just whip stitched this here, and then put the dowel in and a piece of ribbon. And there's chopsticks down here to hold it down, and then I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. Ideally, it would go on this wall that's in front of me. But the only thing that's there, I can show you. Hang on. I don't know if you can see. Whew, there it is. The only thing that's there is a picture of the city. So eventually I want that whole wall to be all cross-stitched, but for now it's not. So that's a future decision. And then I finished today, after Valentine's Day, I finished my Be My Valentine pillow. It's not perfect, but I feel like, you know, it'll get better with practice, and I'm happy with it. These little sheep, I love them so much. This fabric was like a $2 hunk at Hobby Lobby on the clearance rack that I got, and I was really happy to get it. But yeah, I really do. I really like this. So I'm gonna leave it out for a couple days, and then I'll put it away with my Valentine's stuff. I do have some Valentine's decorations that have to come down. Excuse me. Okay. And then I have an FO. Also a Sapphire Handcrafts. This is the Stitchy Book Club. And I don't have... Hang on. Nope, I don't have it. I must have... I probably recycled the pattern because I didn't print out the whole thing. I just printed out what I needed and I finished it. But this is the first clue for the Three Musketeers book club. I'm doing the mini Sal. So I started this in the airport in Scranton before I left. And I have been reassured that these pieces here are not supposed to line up because they don't. They're off by one. The count on this, or the fabric, is kind of odd, but so far so good. I was able to fit this on a small Q-snap, which made the stitching much easier. So, part 1 is done. I think part 2 comes out in another week, but I'll be honest, I don't remember. I'll just do it when it gets here. So that's my FOs and my FFOs. And now for what I'm working on. So if you'll remember last time I checked in, I think I had either just finished or was almost finished the first of the KC Christmas Village Sal. So this is the first one. And they give you this fabric and they say you can fit 6 and you can't. So I just decided that I'm going to do 2 on here and then buy some more Ada just for 40% off or whatever at Hobby Lobby or Joann's. It's so cheap. Or see if I have any in my stash and do 2 or 4 more on another piece. So what I did was I wanted to be able to have it close to how I sit to work, which is like this. So this one goes like this, and this one that I started on Monday goes like that. So I'm still stitching the same way that I was. So I'm doing better. Hang on one second. Is that better? I'm doing better on this than I was the last time, in that everything so far has been half stitches, and I have done actual half stitches on it. So the first time I did this, the top part was supposed to be half stitches and I did full cross. So I'm trying to be more mindful. So I'm going to work on this for probably another hour today, and then it'll be gone for the week. And I am currently working on, which one am I working on? Hang on. I have the pattern here. Oh, okay. I'm working on this one. They're not in the same order on the cover as they are in the book, and I'm doing them in order because I figured that way I had no decision. Like, no, I couldn't decide which ones to work on and which ones not to. Also, obviously, I have not done the back stitching yet, and although I don't want to do it, I know I have to. So my plan is when I finish this one to do the back stitching on these two, and when I take them off the scroll rides, they'll be done completely, 100%. Fingers crossed. So that's how that's going. The Casey Christmas Village sale is moving right along. I think that Laura's making some good progress on hers, and a lot of the other girls who are doing them are all moving along slowly but surely with their various ways of organizing those awful flosses. I had kicked around taking the time to put them all in bags. That's what a lot of people have done. And can I be honest? I didn't want to. It'll take forever. I'll just deal with, like, pulling a strand and hoping for the best. Because I feel like it's just not worth it for me. We'll see. I may change my mind in 2 weeks. Because I'll be off of that project for a week, and then I'll go back to it. So now, that is from... Hang on a second. I try to be organized when I do these. Organized is a strong word. So now, another of my current progress is I started Little House Needleworks Rain Showers, and I have like 12 stitches, but I'll show it to you anyway. Isn't that cute? I started that in the car on Friday on the way to Philly. My boyfriend pulled over at a rest area to work, so I started stitching, and then figured out I didn't have scissors, so there was not a lot that I could do, but here's my tiny little start. But it's my first time ever using variegated floss. So that's Stormy Night. So it's definitely, there's a lot of variegation in that. And so far, I really like it. So explain to me, I'm not supposed to just do half cross and then go back. I'm supposed to do the full cross, which is what I've been doing. But I did, like, because I do the slip method to start. So I had my floss, and what I do is I pull a piece and then I just thread it like that, and that's what my 2 strands is. Is that what you're supposed to do with variegated, or am I doing it wrong? If I'm doing it wrong, please tell me so that I can fix it. But anyway, Rain Showers. This was a free pattern that I got when I bought the 2 colors of floss from a seller on Etsy. This is going to be like my work, I'll probably take it with me to the hospital on Thursday for when I'm waiting. Easy, not hard stitching. So no rush to get it done. Oh, and then, speaking of baggies, for my fancy floss, couldn't figure out how I was going to store it. Because what I do for my DMC is, I don't know if I've shown you this, but I have these big binders that I got at Walmart during back to school time, and I bought baseball card sleeves, and I went through, oh, the glare is going to be awful, I went through and I numbered each, it's in order, but every single DMC is there, and then I just store them in baseball sleeves, and as long as you're careful with them, they don't really pop out, knock on wood. Sorry about the glare. So that's how my DMC is stored. But one, that took forever. And with fancy floss, they don't have numbers, they're in alphabetical order, or they have names. So I couldn't figure out what I was going to do. I have watched y'all's floss tubes about your floss organization, Pinterest, Google, the whole thing. And I decided I have several of these because I am in the process of replacing. You can see I have 2 right there, 1 right there, and then I have some more over here. Replacing old, like, pretty ones with plain. Plain is for me. So what I did was I took the snack bags that I have and I put each one in a snack bag with the name written on an index card, which I had to cut down, but I have a paper cutter, so it was fine. Whoops, I just dropped one. So that way when I pull them, I'll just take the entire bag. And my plant, these are all Classic Colorworks. And then I figure I'll just put a divider in, that moves like a library divider from like an old library card catalog in for like if I get like any Gentle Arts or anything. Gentle Arts, that's one of the brands, right? Cast? I don't know. So I'm thinking about doing a Floss of the Month club. So please leave me a comment below with which one you do and why you do it and if you like it. Because I'm on board with Fancy Floss, kind of. And the only reason that I'm on board, kind of, is because I'm okay with how expensive it is, but it's not easily accessible for me. I don't have a cross-stitch store within an hour and a half, really. And I'm not really comfortable going. But sometimes trying to convert from a Fancy Floss to a DMC is really hard, which is fine. I understand that, you know, designers want you to use the Fancy Floss. I get that. But for someone, well, where money, I mean, y'all, this mistletoe is beautiful. It's beautiful. But there's no variegation to that, and it costs $2.50. DMC costs 56 cents, and usually when I buy it, I get it with a coupon. So the only reason that I think about doing like a color of the month type of club is because then I would not have to do the converting, so it would be because I'm lazy. Anyway, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you use. Oh, help me, masters. Thank you. So now it is my off week, so I'll work a little bit on the village today because I didn't work on it much last week. And then it'll get put away, and I'm planning a new start today. I am finally starting the towels. I got these at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. They're just blue. That are gonna say "Let's Go" on them in the DMC variegated blue. And that's for Terry from No Crumbs Left, who does not cross stitch, so we'll never see this, and we'll not see it until it arrives at her house. There's 2 of them, and I'm planning to do Let's Go on one, and I might do, she calls her followers Crumbles, and I might do Crumbles on the other. And then I just need to figure out like how I'm going to, where I'm going to put the placement, because I have, like, my cross-stitch books all have alphabets in them, and then the magazines, they always have, you know, an alphabet in them somewhere for some reason or another. So I'll just pull an alphabet that I already have for the lettering. So that's my plans for this week, is to start that, hopefully finish it, because it's just a couple words, and words don't take me long. I get a lot of pleasure out of words, to be honest. So we... oh, excuse me. Oh, maybe I'm dying. Hang on. Harry Potter cup. I got it for my birthday. I only use it for water in my bedroom because I don't like to drink hot drinks out of plastic. I don't really like to keep anything out of plastic anymore. I'm very slowly, as my plastic is like cracking and stuff for lunch containers, converting to glass. Just because I'm not so much worried about eating the plastic, I just feel like the plastic takes on whatever thing you've put in there. Anyway, off of that. Haul. I don't have a lot because I haven't done any shopping because I haven't had time. when I got back from Washington, Just Cross Stitch was waiting for me. And other than a quick flip through, I haven't really had time to look at it. It looked like this issue, it's obviously their spring issue, but there was a lot of, like, oh, well, here's all the projects. There were a couple baby things. So, like, this, and then this whole bottom row was all, like, birth announcements, which is fine. None of them were my style. But, you know, maybe. And then I have been thinking about starting some sort of calendar. And I can't decide if I want to do is it Country Cottage Needleworks, the houses, and then somebody posted, like, he goes Hands Across the Sea, maybe? No, that's not it. I don't remember. Somebody posted a cute one. And then Just Cross Stitch has March and April, and I just noticed them, and I think they're kind of cute. So maybe I'll start those. I don't know. I'm looking forward. That's another thing. Comment below. Tell me, recommend a calendar. Maybe if you guys answer these questions I'm asking, I'll do a giveaway. I have something to give away. So comment below with answering one of two questions. Either what calendar you have stitched or want to stitch, 12 things, and if you are in a floss club, which one and why, and if you're not, which is, I mean, lots of us aren't, but which one do you like lust after? And that'll be, and don't say giveaway and be 18, I guess, is what everybody always says. But seriously, be 18. Don't be weird. You're not allowed to watch this if you're not 18. I clicked the box. Anyway, so that's the first bit of haul I have, is Just Cross Stitch. And then Rocio, my girl Coco. Can I just call, I'm just calling you Coco. I'm just kidding, darling. I love you. She sent me a message and she's like, have you been looking for the Cinderella Mirabilia? And I was like, I mean, I haven't not been looking. And she sent me a link and she had found it. So I put a max bid in and I got outbid right at the end, which is fine. But then it relisted the next morning. So I don't know if the person who had been bidding on it backed out or what. But I got this beautiful, this actually, I might like this more than I like Lady of the Flag. That castle in the background, I love it. Like, I would do the even just the castle without her. I got this for $8.99. $8.99. I was pretty excited. I gotta stop buying Mirabilias until I make one, but I'm so nervous to do it that Lady of the Flag, though. Maybe. Or maybe I'll do this one first. It's the beads. I don't know how to do beads. Oh, great cross stitchers, teach me beads. Anyway, also in haul, I pre-ordered from Rika a bag that I don't need at all, but her stuff is so beautifully designed, beautifully sewn, and she has such incredible talent. And to top it all off, she's just so nice, and I adore her, and she's so sweet that I just want to be here when I grow up. So I got this beautiful, this is the Hyde Park fabric that I told you guys that I loved so much. Can you see that? Look at how beautiful. And then the inside is a pretty, like, pink, but she quilts them. So the quilting is done in a green to match the Hyde Park, but then, because obviously you can see it on the pink, the stitching, I love that green with the pink, the green thread. I love this so much. And then, like, the zipper pull that matches, and her handle that she irons perfectly. Actually, you know what, guys? My stitching for work is going in here. Because look, they kind of match. My Kelly Stadola bag, my Rika bag. I love a theme. It's all together now. But I mean, seriously, Rika, you are so talented. And I use scroll rods that don't fit, but I love your bags anyway, and I would buy them all. But green and pink are like a sage and a dusty rose kind of color are my favorite. And I commented on one of her floss tubes. She was eating a Lion bar, and it was like on the table in front of her, and I was like, I love Lion bars. When I was in Ireland, I ate them all the time. She went down to the commissary and got me one, because apparently in the US military, you can have Lion bars. Thank you so much, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are truly the best, and the fact that you remembered that I liked them, the thoughtfulness of your company means a lot. So thank you sincerely. And that's actually what I really love about the cross-stitch community. You all are just so kind and thoughtful and nice, and you think of others. A cross-stitcher passed away a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't know her and never interacted with her, but watching such a large group of people come together to celebrate a life is truly lovely. It is awe-inspiring to see that, and it makes me really happy that I discovered this hobby. If I'm being honest, one of the things that turned me off from knitting, which I had been very active in and with for a long time, was that there was a lot of drama in the entirety of the knitting community in the last couple years, and it felt like it was taking away from what was a really fun and stress-relieving hobby for me. You know, when I, like Instagram pictures of stuff, and I'm like, well, it's not perfect, and that doesn't bother me, because for me, cross-stitch takes me away from the stress and my anxiety. All I can think about when I'm stitching is stitching and whatever Flosstube I'm watching or listening to, as it were. But it's very nice to know that there's just this lovely community of people who make up all different types of people from all around the world. And I just love that we have this thing that these threads that bind us together. So thank you for welcoming me, because I know that I'm really a new cross stitcher, and it's been really, really nice. So thank you. Sincerely. Anyway, today's a little shorter. It's only 33 minutes. I never do shout outs because, well, one, I'm always nervous that I can't remember any names, but I do want to say that anybody who has ever shouted me out or subscribes or comments, they all mean the world to me. So thank you, and know that I am watching, and I try to comment on the things that I watch, but I watch on my Kindle, and typing on that thing is the worst. So what I think I'm going to start doing is logging into my YouTube here, and while my video is uploading, comment on all the ones that I've watched. Anyway, don't forget about the giveaway. The questions are, once again, if you've made it this far, what floss club you like, and which calendar you would like to or have stitched. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope I get a lot of stitching done this week, and if I do, I'll check in next week. And then, if not, I'll see you the week after. I'm a week or every 2 weeks kind of girl. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful week. Stitch a lot. And know that I love you.